Sorry, guys. 10 o'clock in the morning and technology is not wanting to work for me. So let's try this one more time. We're going to have William Byron get on here. I saw that he was on the other one, so I know that he's there. I'm going to try and add him this time. So continue to send your questions for him. I saw we got a lot in the other one, so I marked some of those. So we'll try and get some of those answered. All of you guys are requesting to be in here. I'm sorry. I have one person that I have to let in here. Like I was saying on the first one, I hope you guys enjoyed Bristol Motor Speedway. It was really fun, virtually. It was only a matter of time before William was going to get a win on there because I knew that he was going to win soon. And he got a little bump and run action from Texas. This should work now. He got a little bump and run action back at Texas, so it was only that he was going to get a redemption. You got it, sir. How are you?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome.
Technology has sometimes it's like my best friend, and sometimes it hates me. So this morning it clearly is hating me.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it either.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Bristol first and foremost because really you made it look easy, which nobody else did other than you because there were so many cautions. I thought we were going to have the lights turn on at Bristol Motor Speedway yesterday. So did you know, I guess you can kind of tell when you're leading up front, you led the most laps, you won the push pole, and then you win the race. So you knew that it was going to be probably your day to win yesterday, right?
I was hoping so. Honestly, it was just kind of dodging some of the mayhem coming through the field. I had to restart, I guess, ninth the one time. And then, I think I passed Kurt Busch and a couple of guys. And so once I got through that, I was like, okay, now I've kind of gotten through my pit strategy. I'm like on my last set of tires. So I'm like good to the end. So just had to have good restarts and stuff. And luckily worked out. I think that, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin were honestly the two guys that I was most worried about going into this week. I thought that they made a lot of improvements over the week. So it was just fun to have a good, solid race and not get moved out of the way this time. That was nice.
Yeah, I knew that at some point I was going to be talking to you in Victory Lane. I just didn't know that it was going to be in each other's living rooms and not actually at a racetrack. So this is a little different for us. But have you, for people that don't know, you have a very long-standing history with iRacing, and it's kind of how you got started. It is how you got started in the sport. But Denny and Kyle have been practicing. You mentioned those two guys, and a lot of guys in the Cup Series have been practicing a lot. As your practice schedule looked, because you don't really have to practice. I mean, you do somewhat to just get familiar with it, but you have a lot more experience than some of those guys.
Yeah, honestly, so it kind of makes me like nervous every week because I'm like, who's going to be good this week? Who's going to figure it out? Now that we've had 3 weeks of like a sample set, I kind of know now that I don't have to practice quite as much. I've just been doing the practice races that they've had, and I feel like Denny's gotten a lot faster. John Hunter Nemechek has done really well the last couple of weeks. So I just honestly I kind of line up now who are my top 4 or 5 guys that I'll be racing against. But it's been fun, I think, for NASCAR. It's a chance that we have to do something that's somewhat normal and be able to race. And even though it's virtual, the physics and everything of the cars are really realistic on there.
Yeah, you have a lot of people on here, and I'm going to ask this as well, too, because it was a really cool paint scheme. But that Byron fan wants to know, would you want to run that scheme in real life in the future?
Yes, absolutely. So I was thinking about that this morning. I created that paint scheme with with my painter on iRacing, Justin Calvin. He does a great job. So he and I just a couple weeks ago when this Pro Invitational started, we said, hey, I want a cool paint scheme. Make it Exalta because it's Exalta's race. And that he made that paint scheme. Unfortunately, we weren't able to run it the first couple weeks. But this week we ran it finally, and I just love it. I think it's kind of got that Intimidator look with the black. And honestly, I'm a big Carolina Panthers fan, so it's kind of got their Carolina Panthers colors.
It was really cool. I can only imagine what that would look like in real life because virtually it looked really cool, especially at Bristol.
Yeah.
People are asking how you have been and how life has been too, because I know that it's a little bit different with us not going to the racetrack every weekend. So what has life, other than iRacing, looked like for you?
Well, it's been kind of boring. I think that really just kind of, continuing my Liberty University online classes. So that's been good. Other than that, just been spending time with the family. My sister's in town. She lives in New York City, but she's been back for 3 or 4 weeks, and it's kind of crazy up there. So glad she's been back, and just glad everyone's kind of staying safe. So I've just tried to kind of spend normal life at home. It feels like the off season basically, which is if we didn't have this iRacing thing, it'd be complete off season. But with the iRacing stuff, it's kind of been similar to race season. I just can go outside right after the race.
Yeah, I think people have been asking me and other drivers that we've been on here as well, like, oh, what fun things are you doing? We're moving from the kitchen to the couch, just like you guys are. Like, it's the exact same thing. I also want to ask you about, I talked about it earlier before you got on here, but you had a little bump and run in Texas that kind of pushed you out of the way from Timmy Hill. And we've seen a lot of drivers go at each other on social media, It's very different than what it is in real life. And we like to, create that drama and keep it going and see if those are going to carry on. But we saw a lot more in Bristol than we have in the previous 2 weeks. So do you think that any of those are going to carry over? We had Daniel Suarez and Kyle Larson that had a little scuffle. But people, Suarez got on there and said that he, it was virtual and it was a joke. But it's Bristol.
It's Bristol. Yeah, it's anybody that tells you that they weren't I could guarantee you if you watch them as that actually happened, I'm sure they were just as mad. So I think it's just the recovery time. I told somebody this yesterday, the recovery time of what it takes to actually get over it is a little bit quicker. But it's still, when you're racing, it's racing, and conflict is conflict. So I wasn't surprised that there was a lot of that at Bristol. It was actually quite entertaining to kind of watch it back after the race. So I think it's just part of Bristol and short track racing.
We have some hard-hitting questions right now. Morgan Elise wants to know, are fire suits comfortable?
No, they're not. They honestly, my gym shorts and my t-shirt, Exalted t-shirt that I wear when I sim race is a lot more comfortable. So I wish I could wear
for your sim racing. You still have on your racing shoes, right?
I do. Yeah. I almost need a new pair.
Is that just habit, or is that what most comfort? Because we've seen Jimmy wears socks.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of different. Some people go barefoot, which is just weird to me.
It's weird. Yeah, I don't understand the barefoot thing because the pedals would hurt your feet. So I don't really know.
Well, I want to ask those people because I'm going to make fun of Denny because Denny's one of the ones that I've seen that's been bare feet. But do you drive your real car barefoot?
No.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you drive your street car barefoot, that's illegal. I'm pretty sure. And so I've never driven a car barefoot. I can't tell. Yeah. I can't tell you that I have. I used to drive iRacing barefoot, but when I got these new pedals, they're more realistic. So so I drive it with my racing shoes, which is kind of a pain to put them on every time, but they become comfortable after a while.
It makes it a little more normal. We've had a couple people ask, what's your favorite real track to race at?
That's a good question. I think, honestly, Charlotte. I think I like the Roval a little bit more than the Oval recently. I've kind of had some good results at the Roval. So, honestly, I'd say the Roval is one of my favorite tracks, especially qualifying there. Is just think about holding your breath for a minute and a half. That's kind of what it takes around the Roval. There's literally no breathing because you're shifting and turning all the time.
For folks that don't know, that's your home track too. So that's always a lot of family, and you get to hang out in Charlotte, which is really cool, and have friends. I did a pace car ride at the Roval, the very first one that we ran, 2 seasons ago, I guess. I got motion sickness so bad. It's the only one that I was like, man, this is a lot for me to handle.
Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, especially the infield.
Yeah, exactly. And you go around, I was going around the chicanes at one point, and I was like, these feel like mountains that I'm going over. This is terrible. Yeah. Okay, so this upcoming weekend, we know that we have Easter weekend, so we have a nice little break from the break that we've had already. So what does this upcoming week look like? And then just turning the page after Easter when we come back and get ready to go iRacing. What does practicing look like for you? What does that week look like when we're ready to go back to racing?
Well, I think with the Easter holiday, I'll probably just spend time with family. Try to watch, virtual church to watch Easter and everything like that. So definitely gonna celebrate that as a family. But after that, I don't really know what I'll do. I'm sure I'll practice for the virtual race that's up next. But gonna try to stay off iRacing for the most part this week. I feel like the studio room I have in my apartment, which is about, I guess, a few feet away, has gotten a workout lately. So I might close the door there for a week and come back to it the next week.
Before I let you go too, you had Sports Center last night.
Mm-hmm.
How cool was that?
That was awesome. I don't know if people know how avid of a sports fan I am, but I watch that every morning. So that was really cool. I texted all my friends right away from high school because I'm like, guys, this is my moment. I'm on Sports Center, so they all.
I hope they all watched. We all watched, so you did good. It was good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It's been fun to see how the NASCAR communities all come together, and especially this is really the only sport that's on right now that folks can watch. So if you're not tuned into some virtual iRacing, it's been a really good show. But William, congratulations. I'll see you in the real victory lane sometime soon, I'm sure, when we get back racing. But I'm glad that you got the win at Bristol, and thanks for joining me, and enjoy Easter.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys. Stay safe.
See ya.